Hi everybody, my name is Jaden.
I'm Eli.
I'm Jason.
And I'm Caden. And we are the YHWH and the Torah YouTube channel. We are so glad you could join us. We are very grateful that you would spend the time with us to read this. We are now in Numbers, so we've gone through 3 books now, which is a crazy thing to think that you've gone through all these weeks with us, all these days with us, learning the Torah, and we appreciate you guys. We appreciate you guys taking the time and just spending it with us. Even though we can't hear you, we read your comments. We appreciate your thoughts and your prayers and everything that you guys have for us. And yeah, we're just a giant family here, and that's what we're supposed to do as a family, is supposed to recite the Torah. We're supposed to read on our minds. When we wake up, we're supposed to read it. We're supposed to write on our hearts. We're supposed to tell it to our children, and that's what we're doing. We are waking up. We are beginning our day with the Torah.
Yes, Eli, what is the Shema?
Hear, O Yisrael, hear and obey Yahuwah's words, basically.
What does it say?
Let's see. Hear, O Yisrael, Yahuwah is one.
You shall love Yahuwah.
With all your heart, mind, and soul, and with all your strength.
Yeah, and so Eli, get up to the mic here if you would, please, so we can hear your kind little quiet voice. I would appreciate it. All right, well, thank you guys very much. How are you guys doing today?
Good.
Everyone okay?
Yep.
Everyone survived yesterday?
Yep.
A little bit? All right, we're into Numbers here. Eli has not read into the Numbers. He didn't review what we did yesterday. For a review, I guess for an overall review, where are we at right now?
So we've gone over basically, beginning it, we went through creation, Adam and Eve, Noah, the flood, Abraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, the 12 tribes, going into Egypt, coming out of Egypt, and so basically Moshe has been given all the commands of what they're supposed to do. They were on Mount Sinai, they built the Mishkan, and now they're on year 2 of basically out of Egypt under Yah's hand, traveling through the wilderness. And so now they were basically yesterday in the chapter we were reading, we learned that they basically numbered the entire tribes, all the tribes that could go out to the army, so all the men that would go out to war, to battle, to defend Israel on their journey. They basically numbered everyone to make a count of everyone.
Yeah, so they did a big poll. They did their own little kind of selective service. And before we get going, let's go over a couple of things that I want to talk about. Ori Pup was speaking, and this was that my dog going crazy. Ori Pup talks about when we were discussing Brother Shaul and his writings. I'd like to remind everybody, and yeah, this is absolutely true, that Peter tells us you got to be very careful. He says, I think you're like, what does he say? You're weak or something if you misunderstand
something of that degree.
Something if you misunderstand Paul's writings, Brother Shaul, and you say the laws, statutes, and commands of Yah are gone. It says you're kind of a weak-minded person, and so we don't want to be weak-minded. We want to understand that our Creator does not change. He has never changed. His laws, statutes, and commands are good until heaven and earth pass away. And I still look outside my door and I still see earth out here. I still see heaven up there. If it has passed away, I have yet to figure this one out.
And something that also, if you go through the books, how Colossians, Galatians, Ephesians, those are all different tribes of people outside of Yisrael that Paul had converted to Torah, that had shown the light of Messiah, and that basically they wrote to him first, had a whole bunch of questions, and he wrote back to them and made it into a book. So a lot of things won't make sense because you don't have the first letters from them to Paul. So when he explains saying, don't feel bad, don't feel judged about what you eat by these people because they were into eating pork, they were into this, and now that they're like not eating pork, they're like their family's judging them. It's like when you come into Torah and you tell your family you're not going to celebrate Christmas anymore, you're almost outed as a family member. It's the same way it was. They were getting outed for not eating pork, so they wrote to Paul saying, what do we do? And he said, don't be judged on what you eat, food or drink. You have Yahuwah, right? And things like that. So you didn't have the first part, so it didn't make a lot of sense. But when you understand it in context, that he was actually writing to people that had questions. Yeah,
and it's like some of the stuff he says. I mean, he talks about like you to be considered like a widow, you have to have like certain things. I mean, Brother Shaul basically set up his own set of doctrine. Basically he says like women shouldn't speak in congregations, and I've never found that in the Torah anywhere. We don't see female priests or anything of the sort. But the rules and regulations he puts down are for a time and a place where these little congregations, these little ecclesias that he was setting up, had questions. And like Cade said, you're only seeing one half of it. It makes zero sense when you're only reading the end of a reply. I mean, they could have had like 4 or 5 letters together, and all you're seeing is one letter reply, and people will make an entire doctrine on that. So it is very important we study to show ourselves approved unto Yah, a workman who needeth not to be ashamed. Now this comes on another one. We have Grandma here, and we love the grand. She's our favorite grandma, and I know there's a lot of grandmas out there, but we actually adopted her, and she adopted us. We've never seen her before, but she is our we're calling her our new biological grandma. If not from this family, from another family, but we're considering her that. And like all of you guys, we consider all of you guys our family. The Clarissas and the Carlas and the Ancient Path Remnants and all of you guys. You guys are all part of this family here, and we do appreciate you guys and your conversations with us and things. And so this is what she said. She said, "Good morning, First Family. Good morning, First Morning Family. Couple of questions on Paul. Who decided his name change? Why is almost half of the New Testament books his books? Keep me confined to the narrow way, Abba." Matthew 18:2-4. And yeah, that is a very good question. I don't know the actual answer for that. I do know when I was in Christianity that they were like, yeah, once he converted, Brother Shaul changed his name to Paul. And, there is something to the fact that Paul is like a tent maker. It is actually not it could very well not even be a name. I mean, his name is probably Shaul. And, so he changed his name or something changed. I don't know where that went down. But does anyone here?
One thing I will note is that in Holy Scriptures, if anybody reads the Holy Scriptures, it still says Shaul all throughout his book. It says Shaul, an emissary of Yahushua. Yeah. And not Paul. And I think the story was, he changed his name was so he didn't scare the newborn Christians or something like that. The new founding Christians. It was something. I don't think that's biblical at all. I don't think there was anything biblical to that.
Yeah, and as far as why did he almost write all the New Testament books, that is a very, very good question. I am going to post a video today by Dr. Stephen Pidgeon, and it's called The Apocrypha, to read or not to read. And you will learn, if you guys make it to the very end of it, and I strongly suggest you guys do, if you make it to the very end of it, you will see that Brother Shaul is not who we thought Brother Shaul was. There's a lot more to it. And one thing that I can add, and I haven't found this book, but I asked Nicole to find this book, and I don't know if she found it or not for me, but I had bought it years ago on Kindle. And it was historians, and it was a guy that wrote a story about all these historians that had studied up on the works of Brother Shaul. And they read it in they read it in Greek, and they were basically comparing the writings of Brother Shaul with basically if you put all together. And this is the example that is, if I wrote a love letter to my wife, if it wasn't me that wrote a love letter to my wife, she would absolutely know. It would be things that I would not say, writing styles that I would not do. It is extremely hard to emulate somebody that you know intimately. And so when the historians were out there and they looked at all of the different books of the Bible, they believed that more than half of the books that are attributed to Brother Shaul were not written by him, based upon how it was written, the punctuations, all the grammar, everything. It was totally different. And so I think we've been led to believe a lot of evil stuff. And when you see that video with Dr. Stephen Pidgeon, you will see how they basically took like 70 books of the Bible out, all the good stuff, Enoch and First Maccabees, Second Maccabees, Jasher, Jubilees, all of those ones. Those were all ripped out of the Bible. They should have been there. And so more than likely, Brother Shaul didn't write more than half of the stuff. And this is how you know if it's real scripture or not. Does it lead you astray from the Torah? If there's anything ever that says we should be following other gods or doing something else, or that the laws of God are gone, then obviously we need to pick up rocks and start chucking it at the person who wrote that, right? Because that would be going against scriptures, and so that wouldn't be, that's wrong. And so we must study to show ourselves approved unto Yah, a workman who needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. I use that scripture all the time because so many people do not rightly divide it, and they will take 2 or 3 books out of the New Testament and they'll make a doctrine out of it, and then all of a sudden they're sitting there eating pork, living in adultery, living in fornication and all this evil stuff, and they don't know why. And Yah's cursing them, and they think they have blessings when they don't. And that's the thing is you don't know how many blessings you have missed out on when you don't keep the laws of Yah. And so we can see the curses, but what those curses should not have been curses. All right, let's go to the next one. This is from Stephanie Torres. And she goes, "Blessings to you in the name of Yahuwah and Yehuda. Though I missed the live chat, I thoroughly enjoyed this and learned much." And I don't even know which one this was on. It was a Sabbath one. Okay, so that was on our Sabbath one. One thing I may be able to help humbly explain is the drinking of the blood. Many idols and religions, including worship of the devil and witchcraft, require drinking of blood. Yahuwah calls this an abomination, for the blood contains the life for the body. This carries the same consequences as eating human flesh. Of course, the enemy is messing with the internet. It's been happening more often on many sites. I continue to look forward to these teachings. As I was praying for a daily Bible devotion, this popped in again. Well, that's good. Yah works in very mysterious ways. It is, hopefully we can be part of a devotion. And I mean, I guess this is what it is. I mean, we're reading the stuff. We're trying to study to show ourselves approved. And so that gives us a little something into the drinking of the blood, right? And so it is, it's a nasty, nasty thing, but they do it nonetheless. All right, this is the last one. Is from Clarissa Cotton. She goes, as I enter this, the date is 7/25. Just got back from a family wedding for 10 days. Seeing family was great, but I surely did miss my online Torah family. And yeah, we missed Clarissa as well. We didn't know where she went. And so we're glad to have you back. The Torah is great to read, has never been wrong, irrelevant, or outdated. Torah, the breath of Yah. One note to share. You mentioned the fallen angels, their existence, and their fallen ways that have affected towards mankind. At this time, I can only think of a handful of Bible teachings and teachers that acknowledge their existence and the role they have played, and will be playing in the plan of Yahuwah. I apologize for the simple terms used to express the point Yah put upon my heart to express. Let us come together as the body of Yahushua and pray for one another to encourage, edify, rebuke, and love, equipped with power of the word, and putting on the full armor of Yah every day in preparation of Yah's will to be done. Shalom. Okay, yeah, and so that is a point I really want to touch on, and I don't know if this is maybe a whole thing of itself, but without a shadow of a doubt, I believe that unclean spirits affect our day-to-day walk. It affects our animals. They affect my boys. They affect me. They affect Nicole. And it is something that I believe, depression, right? There's a demon of depression or a demon of despair or something of the sort. And the demons, where do they come from, Kate?
The demons, well, one from hell. They come from there, but they come from like the dead of the.
Yeah, I don't know if they actually come from hell. I think they're going to hell and they will be locked into hell. But originally, they came from where?
I believe it was it's like the spirits of the fallen.
Is
the spirits of
not
the
the spirits of the fallen. It's the spirits of the children of the fallen. So we had the fallen angels, right? We had the angels that came, and they were called watchers, and they were supposed to be hanging out with humans, and not humans. They're supposed to be watching, I guess. And so they decided, they hatched a plan, and they decided that they were going to mingle and mate with the women, and so they did. And what happened was a genetic mutation that was just off the scales. And so you had the first generation, which were the fallen angels and human women, right? And that was called the fallen. And then you had the first generation that was called was it the Nephilim or Nephilim first?
Nephilim, I think.
I think the Nephilim was the first generation. And then you had all of those suckers inbreeding. And then you had the Nephilim, which was yet another set. And then you had the third generation of these suckers called the Eliyahu. And every generation, they got bigger and they got stronger. And so it wasn't just, we're talking, if you're looking at the pyramids, if you're looking at the giant things of this world that you're like, how did these people back in the day ever do this? Well, these people were 100 times larger than we were. And they got so violent that they started eating man, and they started eating women and children, everything, all human beings. There was too many of them, and they were too strong. And so a couple of angels went up to Yah, and they said, Yah, have you not seen this thing? What are we to do? It's the mankind is being destroyed and being ravaged. And so Yah cursed them. And so he had the fallen, and he took all the fallen angels, right, the dads of all these evil things, and they're all locked in chains. One of the main one is tossed into a hole with sharp rocks and no light. Who was that? Azazel, right? He was the main evil dude, and the fallen are the people that taught us all of stuff like women's makeup, perfumes, all of that kind of stuff. In fact, they gave us the very first abortions. They taught women how to abort their babies, and their men are like, I want these women to look very good. And so they basically they taught them how to kill the babies in the womb. How do they know this stuff? I do not know. But what happened was Yah cursed them, and he told them that, he told the fallen that their curse was to watch all of their children destroy each other. And since the fallen, the humans have souls. We all have souls. The problem was the fallen and all of their offspring for probably, I don't know how many hundreds of years this went on, but all of the offspring had no souls. And so when they die, they were left here on this earth to roam and to get us and to basically it is the forces of darkness that are against us. It's not just a roaming lion, evil Hasatan, but we are up against probably millions of demons, and the millions of demons walk amongst us, and their job is to get into our heads, into our children's heads. Their job is to break the bond between Yah and us and lead us down into the same path that they are going to be going. They're evil. They're vicious. Their job is to destroy humanity. And if you look at the world that we are in today, where literally every leader of every country across the world has gone into great evil and is trying to crush the entire world, the devils and demons are able to get into humans. They're able to open up, and that is why drugs and alcohol and things of that nature, even trauma, the demons will take us. When we have times of trauma, when we're down, when we're broken, we absolutely have to be in prayer to Yah. We absolutely have to have the forces of light to fight these forces of darkness. And I do not believe that we go through a single day without having unclean spirits try to take us out in one way, shape, or form. And so it is something that we all need to be aware of, that it's not just, you're not just waking up super depressed because that's the way it is. You're more than likely filled with some sort of unclean spirit, and we must seek Yah. We must seek the blood of Yahushua. The only thing that is able to fight this is the blood of Yahushua, which is why when we call upon the blood of Yahushua, things need to scatter and they need to go away, because there is nothing greater and no stronger force than the blood of Yahushua. Anyone have anything else?
Something for like the fallen. If you read extracurricular books and don't believe in the fallen, read Jasher, because it talks about how Noah, how he was actually different skinned than the rest of them, and his eyes were different colored, and they thought he was from one of the angels. And they're like, "What do we do with this child? I think my wife has mated with an angel."
Yeah, he was like an albino. He came out as an albino or something. I think everybody over there had dark skin, and so all of a sudden you have a super white guy that came out, and it was Lamech, right? Was it Lamech? Lamech was the father of Noah, and he was freaking out, so he went to Methuselah. Methuselah goes, it's okay. This is the chosen one. And so when we are looking as in the days of Noah, where it was a genetic mutation, we are here today. And I will not get on the soapbox. I will stay off my soapbox today. But for those with eyes to see and ears to hear, when you take a snake bite, you are now genetic mutant. You are no longer human. And so it is as in the days of Noah. Here we are again today. So Clarissa, much love, sis, and to your family and to your grandkids and to everybody, much love. We appreciate all of you guys. Let us get into this. And I got to do my handy-dandy split screen. I got no drum rolls. There we go. And the grand says that's the best drum roll on YouTube. That's why she's our grandma. She says that is the best. That's something only a grandma would say. And that's why we love her. All right, so here we go. Numbers 2. And Yahuwah spoke unto El Moshe and unto El Aaron, saying, Every man of the children of Yashrael shall pitch his own standard, with the ensign of their father's house, far off about the tabernacle of the assembly shall they pitch it. Now, what does yours say?
Pitch his own standard. I don't even know where the children of Yashrael are camp, each one by his own banner.
Okay, that's an ensign, right? That is a banner. That's another word.
Standard is.
Yeah, mine says standard or banner.
Okay, so standard by banner. So basically, they have a flag, right, or something of the
sort. They have
sort.
like their own logo for their tribe or whatever it is.
Right. Okay. And on the east side, toward the rising of the sun, shall they of the standard of the camp of Yahudah pitch throughout their armies, and Nachsan, the son of Amminadab, shall be captain of the children of Yahudah. Okay, so it's on the east side, toward the rising of the sun,
So basically, this is like defending. This is since they're on the. This is the so the tabernacle, the Mishkan, is in the very center. I would assume is how this is gonna work. So they're like all surrounding the Mishkan, protecting the Mishkan.
Yeah. Yep.
So he's on the east side. So the east side must have been the most, I assume, dangerous side because Yehuda is considered the strongest, the most warrior type to defend Yashrael. If you read in Joshua, and right at the end of Deuteronomy, you get who is the strongest, who's going to fight for them is Yehuda. So it's obviously the most dangerous side for them that they need to protect.
Those of Yehuda were a little crazy. All right, and his host and those that were numbered of them were 14,600, so 74,600. And those that do not pitch next unto him shall be the tribe of Issachar. The Nathaniel, the son of Zuar, shall be captain of the children of Issachar.
Did you say not camping to him? Not camping next to him?
And those that do pitch next unto him shall be the tribe of Issachar, and Nathaniel, the son of Zuar, shall be captain of the children of Issachar.
Mine said those who camp next to him.
Okay. And those that do pitch next to him. If I said don't, then it is do. Okay. And his host, and those that were numbered thereof, were 54,400. Okay. So this is what I find fascinating about this entire thing is that I don't know if there were coordinated armies prior to this. I'm sure there was. I'm sure the Egyptians had this all figured out and dialed in. But Yah came out and even when they were marching out of wasn't it Ramah?
Ramses.
Yeah, Ramses when they left in 50s, right? They left in brigade style. So our Creator knows how to go to war. Our Creator is a man of war. He knows how to deal with this and how to make people fight right.
And something to note as well, and also in Jasher and Jubilees, you hear that Moshe was a king and he actually ran several armies. So he, as the head of this, knows what he's doing as well.
Yeah. These people are people of war. All right. Then the tribe of Zebulun and Eliav, the son of Kelon, shall be captain of the children of Zebulun. And his host and those that were numbered thereof were 57,400. All that were numbered in the camp of Yehuda were 100,000 and 80,000 and 6,400 throughout their armies. These shall be first set forth. Okay, so all the men according to the camp of Judah. So Yehuda, so we're dealing with, what are we talking about? Yehuda isn't just 186,000.
No, this
No,
is
so-
what I was talking about yesterday, where we have all three tribes on each side. There's three tribes on each side of the Mishkan.
So Yehuda's running a tribe of 186,000.
he has Zebulun and Yisachar next to him. So basically, Yehuda is the main tribe that basically these guys all join one tribe basically together to defend the camp of that side.
That's awesome. Yeah, I love it going from, just plainsmen slaves into warriors, right? And these guys had no training, right? These guys were slaves. These guys grew up in Egypt. They grew up as workers, right? So they did not have battle arraignment. These guys were not, they were not like warrior bound, but Yah makes them warrior bound. All right. On the south side be the standard of the camp of Reuben, according to their armies. So the east side was Yehuda, right? Mm-hmm. And so now we have the south side, according to their armies, and the captain of the children of Reuben shall be Eliezer, the son of Shedier, and his host, and those that were numbered thereof were 46,500. And those which pitched by him shall be the tribe of Shimon, and the captain of the children of Shimon shall be Shelumiel, the son of Zuri Shaddai, and his host, and those that were numbered of them were 59,300. So 59,300. Then the tribe of Gad, and the captain of the sons of Gad shall be Eliasaph, the son of Reuel, and his host, and those that were numbered of them were 45,650. So 46,650. So all that were numbered in the camp of Reuben were 100,050 and 1,450. That's so hard to figure that out. Throughout their armies, 151,450. So you had, on the east side, you had 154,000, something like that, right? Wasn't that 154,000 above?
181,000.
186 to the east. Now the south has 151,000, and they shall set forth in the second rank. Then the tabernacle of the assembly shall set forward with the camp of the Levium in the midst of the camp. As they encamp, so shall they set forward, every man in his place by their standards. On the west side shall be the standard of the camp of Ephraim, according to their armies. And the captain of the sons of Ephraim shall be Elishama, the son of Amminahud. and his host, and those that were numbered of them were 40,500. Now, is this what side is this?
This is the west.
West. Okay. And by him shall be the tribe of Manasseh, and the captain of the children of Manasseh shall be Gamaliel, the son of Pedashur. So, who's Manasseh filling in for?
Levi.
Well,
Because Levi sits in the middle, so there would be.
Who's the son of Manasseh? Who's the father
Joseph.
of Manasseh?
Joseph. Yeah.
So who is he filling in for?
Joseph.
Manasseh and Ephraim are
Are they?
Joseph.
Are they together? They're both together.
Yeah, on the same side, but
Yeah.
since you have 12 tribes and you put Levi in the center of it, you wouldn't have 3 on each side, so you have to separate Manasseh and Ephraim.
Right. Okay. So that's interesting though, because this would be the tribe of Joseph, is who it would be, but instead it split off. He was able to have 2.
Yeah, when that happened is because the way that he blessed them and how he basically made them Jacob basically made him his sons when he blessed them. He's like, these are my sons now, because he didn't get to know Joseph for years on end, and basically he saw his kids and basically these are my sons now, and basically made them the tribes instead of Joseph.
That was huge. That was a huge upgrade. It's not just instead of Joseph. I mean, I would rather have, instead of me have a tribe of Jason, I would rather have a tribe of Jaden and Caden and Eli, right? If you were able to split off that and that becomes a top tier group, that would be an amazing honor. Okay. And by him shall be the tribe of Manasseh, and the captain of the children of Manasseh shall be Gamaliel, the son of Pedashur. What you guys say? Who's this guy? Pedashur.
It's Petzer.
How's it actually supposed to be pronounced? Pedasur. All right. And his host, and those that were numbered of them, were 32,200. Then the tribe of Benjamin, and the captain of the sons of Benjamin shall be Abidan, the son of Gideoni, and his host, and those that were numbered of them were 35,400.
So on this side, we basically have all Rachel's kids on this side.
Right. And this is the west side.
West side, yeah.
West side. All right. All that were numbered of the camp of Ephraim were 100,000 and 8,000 and 100 throughout their armies, and they shall go forward into the third rank. So this is much smaller. The west side is 108,100. So I guess the west side is lesser to be attacked. So you got Yehuda on the right. You got
Reuben on the
the bottom. Then you have these guys. Who's this over here? On
Manasseh.
the west. Manasseh on the west side. Okay.
Oh no, Ephraim, my bad.
Yeah, Ephraim, Manasseh, and Benjamin. So.
Okay, yeah, Ephraim, and they're both there. Ephraim and Manasseh are both there? Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, so 25. The standard of the camp of Dan shall be on the north side by their armies, and the captain of the children of Dan shall be Achiezer, the son of Amniashadai, and his host, and those that were numbered of them were 62,700. So 62,700. And those that encamp by him shall be the tribe of Asher, and the captain of the children of Asher shall be Pegilel, and the son of Ochran, and his host, and those that were numbered of them were 41,500. Then the tribe of Naphtali, and the captain of the children of Naphtali shall be Achira, the son of Enan, and his host, and those that were numbered of them were 53,400. All they that were numbered in the camp of Dan were 100,050 and 7,600. So 157,600. That's quite a bit on that one. So that's the second biggest one or third? Second biggest. Yeah, so that's second biggest. So Dan's hanging out at the top. All right. These are those which were numbered of the children of Yashrael by the house of their fathers. All those that were numbered of the camps throughout their hosts were 600,000 and 3,550. Now, what do we got? 603,550 is their army. Mm-hmm. All right. There we go. But the Levium were not numbered among the children of Yashrael, as Yahudah commanded Moshe. And the children of Yashrael did according to all that Yahuwah commanded Moshe. So they pitched by their standards. And so they set forward, everyone after their families, according to the house of their fathers. Okay, so we had, on the east side, we had 3 tribes, right? The south side, we had 3 tribes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 3 tribes.
The west side,
3 tribes.
3, and the north has what?
3. 3 times 4 is 12.
But we have...
Levi gone, but we split Joseph into 2.
If Ephraim and Manasseh were all on the same side...
They're split. They're considered 2 different tribes.
Right, but if we had... What I'm saying here is I think the north tribe didn't have 3 tribes in it, right?
It had Gad. It had Gad, Asher, and Dan.
Gad, Asher, and Dan. Okay, so there's actually 13 tribes then.
Yeah, except the Levites weren't counted as warriors.
Right.
They were inside. They were like protected.
Right, but that's interesting
was
though,
not
because the
counted.
way that Yah just set that up, right? We are it's divisible, right? 3, 6, 9, 12, and then the one in the middle we have the Levites, right? And so basically Yah's temple is completely surrounded by warriors.
And I think
like
probably
don't-
have bigger tribes where the weaker points are.
Yeah, and I think that's amazing that Yah would walk with us and that he would set up his own tribe, his human tribe. That's how he would set up his army, right there. That is literally Yah's army. And I think it's amazing. I think it's just he's a creator of not just a creator of grace. Our creator is a creator of death, right? I mean, he can go and not a creator of death, but they're going to go kill, right? And so I mean, this is what their job is about to be. They're about to wipe out all of these lands. And so he's taking a bunch of roughnecks, the guys that have zero skills in any of this stuff, and he's going to create mad warriors out of them, right? And we do know that the children of Yaakov were warriors, right? We know from the stories in there, they went and they took out Shechem, and Simeon and who was it? Simeon and Levi took out the entire town of Shechem when they defiled Dinah. And so yeah, these guys are warriors, but I mean, after captivity, you're not your dad. You're going to get up and you're going to go to slavery work. You're going to do all this stuff. I'm sure the Egyptians were not training these people in metals and fighting and this stuff.
They'd rise up.
Yeah, they'd be crazy to train your slaves on how to fight. Okay, all right. Well, that's it. Anyone have anything else out here?
No, read your Bibles. Have a nice day.
Yeah, have a nice day.
Thanks for joining us again. We appreciate you guys. If you have any questions, comments, also the Telegram group.
Yeah, we have a Telegram group, and I think it's a Youth for Yah Telegram group, but I think we have more adults in that thing than we actually have youth. So I think we're just going to merge everything into one, and so I think we're just going to have a
Yahoo and the Torah
group.
group.
Yahoo and the Torah group, and it will be youth. Youth wise. How do I say it?
Based?
Youth. It'll be like if
Targeted
some
for
guy comes in there swearing or some guy comes in there whatever, we're gonna boot him out, right?
Oh, it's like
yeah, youth driven. It's going to be for the youth. We do not want
family friendly.
Yeah, family friendly. Thank you very much. I'm just getting too old. Yeah, family friendly is what this is, and so we want everybody of every walk. But if you're there just to be vile or evil, it doesn't need to fall in the eyes of the youngsters and the eyes of the windows to the soul. So that's the last thing we want in that. So I think we'll open it up for everybody. And then tonight's
Spanish.
Tonight's Spanish. Yes, we missed it yesterday. We had some struggles here in this house, but we will get through it. And so we will try to get our Youth for Yah in Spanish out tonight.
And then tomorrow night is English.
Tomorrow night is English. Yeah, so we have a busy plate here. So yeah, we have a busy plate for Yah, and I hope you guys have a busy plate for Yah. I hope you guys are out there teaching and preaching and talking to people and telling everybody about the Besorah. What is the Besorah, Eli?
It is the good news of YHWH Mashiach.
Yeah, the good news of YHWH HaMashiach. Jaden, take us out of this. Where does salvation begin?
It begins at the stake or whatever Yehoshua was hung on the cross.
What steak? Are we talking like Arby's? Or
No,
are we talking, what kind of steak?
it's kind of like a tree.
A tree.
It's
Okay, so a lot of people say it's a cross, but they actually didn't hold them up like that. They was probably on a tree, so and a different kind of a thing. So when people, how does that begin? What do you mean it begins on the stake?
So basically, we have salvation and we have a chance at repentance by believing in Yehoshua, by using His blood to heal our sins, to forgive our sins. Because back then, when we did sacrifices, we didn't have full repentance, we didn't have true repentance. But with Yehoshua, we have a second chance. We have a chance at entering eternal life and not dying with our sake.
Exactly. But that chance does not give us a sin card, right? There's sets of laws, and if we are unserious about keeping the laws of Yah, then Messiah Yahushua told us that they would tell us to depart from them, ye workers of iniquity. And working iniquity is simply lawlessness. If you do not know what sin is unless you know the Torah. And so if you do not know the Torah and you've tossed it on the tree or you tossed it anywhere in the trash, as most people do, then you don't know what sin is, and you'll be living in sin, and there is no, you're not going to be forgiven for that, right? We have a chance. Everybody has a chance to make their choice right here. And we are, for me and my family, we will choose Yah. We will choose Yah. We'll choose Yahushua. And we thank you guys very, very much. So,
all right.
Have a wonderful day.
Shalom.
Shalom.